Hi everyone and welcome to my session at Microsoft Viva. Hi everyone, welcome to my session in Microsoft Viva. This is one of the latest sessions in today and I hope you find it useful and you enjoy it. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to share my screen in a second. There you go. Great. So I'm going to share now my slide. I hope you can see it all right. Welcome once again. Thank you very much for being here. It's been a pleasure to be admitted as part of this amazing event that a lot of people had put together with lots of efforts. And I'm really pleased that I'm able to join. Unfortunately, due to familiar circumstances, I'm not going to be able to be live. So I'm sending over this recording and I hope you find it really fun and insightful. But if you have any question and if you want to reach out to ask anything, just let me know and I will be delighted to send it over to you. So welcome once again, welcome and thank you for all the sponsors that are supporting the event. As we know, there are no events that could be able to run without sponsors. And I am really pleased that there's a lot of people trusting in this kind of movements from our community. So thank you very much. I'm gonna make a disclaimer at the beginning because I feel a bit like an intruder, and that's it because I come from a different world, and we're gonna see that in a second. But just because I come from a different world, it doesn't need it's not impossible for us to speak about the same challenges. So this is gonna be a much more not so deep technical session, but much more a bit of how we can add value to our customers when we're delivering this kinds of solutions, basically. So I hope you find it useful, and I'm going to introduce myself. No, I'm not going to introduce myself. I'm going to introduce the prices. So we have some prices, and as you can see, they're pretty exciting. I really look forward to see who wins this. They're really good, and yeah. What's about the event? We have some sessions that are about hands-on. And that means that they're going to, well, if you reach this point, you already saw much more of the event. So you know that there are lots of sessions hands-on, and that means that they're like actually showing you the product and how the things are done. So that is really good. And then we have some deep dive in Microsoft Viva products sessions. And then there's my session that is not fitting in any of these 3 points. But anyway, I hope you find it insightful, useful, fun, and most of it you can go home with some tools added to your toolkit and some tools added to your speech with your customers and things that you can deliver and that you can show your customers you're doing good. All right, so who am I? My name is Ana Inés Urrutia de Sousa. I am pretty sure no one is able to pronounce it as I do, but that's not important. This is the session, if I know how to count, this is the session number 10, and it's called Above and Beyond Microsoft Viva. I really wanted to do something that it helps us as consultants in this world to think a bit more about how we can go above the solution and provide value and deliver value to our customers in a different way. So the session goes about what does it mean when we implement or work with Microsoft Viva in a company and what we can think about for the future of the company. So this is a session more like a strategic one, and I hope you really like it. I was really honored to be accepted, and when I was creating the slides, I was really pleased that I was able to sneak my insights and experience with you. So who am I? That's my name. I'm an MVP for business applications since December 2020, and I'm a Dynamic 365 HR practice lead in a company here in Spain called Accenture. And what I do, it's mainly to focus on Dynamic 365 human resources, and that's mainly what I talk about when I make sessions. But the thing is that my role or my duties is not only to speak about, to speak with our customers about human resources for Dynamics, but it's much more a conversation around employee experience, solutions for those challenges, and how we can make them grow. So my main product is Dynamics 365 HR, but if a customer comes and says to us, we need to implement Microsoft Viva Insights because we want to make sure the bosses are aware of what is going on with employees, we do that. And it's part of my responsibilities. Of course, HR wins a lot of space, but despite that, I'm like more in a employee HR experience level. So that's it. That's a really old picture of me, and I'm a bit changed now. And so you can see in the video that I've changed a bit, but that's me mainly. I will, at the end of the conversation, I will let you some you will find me on LinkedIn, my Twitter, and my blog, and you can reach out and speak to me if you have any doubt. Feel free, and if I can help you, I will. All right, so this is our session. Welcome, everyone. It's above and beyond Microsoft Viva, and the thing is that I wanted to share with you about how we can add a lot of value to these implementations, how we can think about our customer as a very interesting case, and we're going to go through all that things that are important and necessary to go above and beyond. So welcome, fasten your seatbelts. I'm going to start with this session, and I really hope you find it fun, useful, insightful, and so on. So yeah, let's go. There you go. The agenda. This is the agenda that I planned for today. We're going to speak about the Microsoft solutions for human resources, and I'm going to go over a few of them, but there are much more. So what I want to put in the table, what the conversation that I want to have with you is just that we speak about our customers and also how we can advise them, like in a really big picture level. So then we're going to go through the scenarios we can solve with Viva, and I'm gonna do a bit of focus on how we can add value to the company and how we can think above and beyond and be aware of our added value as consultants. And then I'm gonna say bye, and I'm gonna provide you my links so you can reach out. So let's start with the Microsoft solution for human resources. I'm gonna make an introduction over here. So as you know, when someone reaches out and they want to implement or work with Microsoft Viva, they're mainly because they want to improve some of the processes they had internally with human resources or employee experience or the workforce or communications and so on. So in this case, it's good for us if we think about Microsoft Viva as part of the go-to solutions for that challenges. And the thing is that all of you know much more about how to implement it and how to go through that. But the thing is that is not only the solution that we have from the Microsoft perspective in terms of solving human resources challenges. And I like to think about this because as human resources challenges, because I think that they are a bit, they impact in people, they impact in culture, and they also impact in how people think about the company, the employee branding, you know what I'm trying to say. So let's I know this is Microsoft Viva Days, but let's focus also on the things that are like going a bit over it, and they can add value as well for our customers. So we have lots of solutions, and I added a few over here, but there's a list of much more. I created an article like 2 years ago, I think, about 7 solutions to solve HR challenges. I don't think Viva is included there, but because Viva 2 years ago, I don't think it was, well, it doesn't matter. I think that Viva is a bit younger. But anyway, of course, we have Microsoft Viva and we can provide a lot of value with this solution because we are helping companies work like much smartly than they were working before, and that's something that it's really good because at some point people realize that. I remember when Satya made the announcement, and we realized that we were having major crisis in the workforce and how the people was experiencing there's remote work. So when Viva came to life, I realized how important it is to make sure that everyone is okay. And not only that, but also make a balance between what we give and what we provide, what we give and what we ask, as well as some other challenges as knowledge or share knowledge or information and so on. So I think Microsoft Viva is a really potential, really good solution. And I really think that there are gonna be a lot of other solutions joining these 4 stars that we have today. But if we don't find, like, if we find any gap, if we find any difficulty in the implementations because our customer is asking for much more than what Viva can deliver, and this happens to me the other way around, I'm going to share it in a bit. But if we find that gap between what the customer wants and what we can deliver with Viva, there are a lot of things that we can use for that. Starting with Dynamics Human Resources, anyway, you're going to face any company you're going through, they might have any system for HR, 1 or 2 or maybe 5, because they use one system for different processes in the area. And you're able to speak a bit more about HR, you're able to share that in a table. And the thing that these are 2 solutions from the Microsoft environment, it gives the customer 2 things: security, that it's going to be something that is already known, and the fact that they're going to be easily integrated, and because they are from the same provider. So that's going to be really good. And sometimes the same consultants deliver both. And that's really important because we can keep track of the full process and understand the start and the end. Of course, we have Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams has been, I think that, well, I'm recording this through Teams. I speak to my coworkers daily through Teams and with my customers as well. And I think that this is important in terms of we don't oftenly consider this platform as part of like human resources platforms. But if you define what HR is, it's like communication, collaboration, exchanging, creating, and all that. We do it in Microsoft Teams. And the thing is that it is much more than just a chat. It's working together, working closely, and that is part of human resources because it's part of the employee experience, and it's part of what makes us part of a team. And of course, Microsoft Viva is powered on Teams, added to Microsoft 365, so that is really good. And we can see a lot of the things coming to life through Teams. Then we have something that is already known, and I mean, for most of you probably, it's Power Platform. This is a low-code platforms that provide a customer to some solutions when they face challenges they're not able to solve with what they already have. We can automate, we can create apps or dashboards, or automate apps, dashboards, and virtual agents like bots. So people can ask questions and the platform can reply with a set of predicted answers. And that could be really good to see the match between Viva and Power Platform. And lastly, we have another solution for human resources, and I put it like this. because LinkedIn is part, since 2017, LinkedIn is part of Microsoft. Microsoft bought LinkedIn, but they still working as different companies, and that is because they have a really core and really good go-to-market strategy, and they believe that it's better if they keep it separate. But if you're buying LinkedIn, keep in mind that you are buying also it's part of the Microsoft things that you can use to solve human resources challenges. Okay, so what scenarios do we solve with Viva? I wanted to go over this because this is Microsoft Viva Days 2022, and this is important to share with you, people, and let's go through. So as you may have seen in the previous sessions that are really, really good, and we have 4 scenarios at the moment. I'm really hoping we can have a bit more apps. And I smell that something's coming, but I don't know, finger crossed, because this is a very strong, solid solution, and the fact that it's embedded in Microsoft Teams provide us the ability of not going over a learning curve once again. So this means that if we are working with Teams and we start using Viva, it's not something that it's not a platform that I will need to learn from scratch. It's just something that I will need to learn, but in a scenario that I already know. So we have 4 scenarios that we're going to solve with Viva, and maybe we can maybe your customer may add 2 of these, 3 of these, or in the best scenario ever, the 4 of them. So for the first one, for the learning, we have a very strong platform thinking about how we can provide the best course for the best resource, and give them courses that are tailored, and not only suggest courses, but also be able to share courses with colleagues, or with my boss, or the boss with me, and so on. So in terms of learning, it's a very solid solution, and it is important because we didn't have any LMS within Microsoft environment. We always had to go out and speak with an ISV or with a third-party provider, and it was good. But now we are in the same infrastructure, to say the least. So that brings us a bit of relief in terms of what we can do. And the good thing also is that the courses that are available are part of the 2 that I always remember is LinkedIn courses and Harvard Business Review. So those 2 are really good, really recognized and really solid solutions out there, very solid course providers out there. And I think that this can bring a lot of knowledge into your company in a very good user experience. Second, we have Insights. For Insights, we think about this, and I really like it. I started using it when I was I think when I was in Uruguay, and just to keep track of how I was doing, because I was struggling a bit with remote work. But Insights, I think it's the one I prefer from all of this, and it provides us the ability to analyze the information, not only about ourselves, but from our reports, and understand what is going on. So I can, as a manager, I'm able to understand if the people reporting to me are feeling bad, if they are having a difficult week, if they are overwhelmed or overcharged with work, or if they're doing good. I'm able to see what is going on with my employees without having that like weekly conversation on how you are. And yeah, it's not that I don't want to speak with my reports, but I prefer if I can have some insights, because I loved insights based on evidence. So that's it. Third, we have communication, and we use communication as part of, it's similar to intranet, and we can share and post, and human resources also is able to share information about what is going on in the company, or things that are not mainly related with day-to-day job, but they are related to the operations of the company. So we have that kind of intranet over there that's going to be really good and really solid. And I really like it because as it's part of Microsoft Teams, it's really, really good. And lastly, we have something that I think it's something really good for people that work in our environment or in the project, like in the project industry, and because we have a lot of difficulties with knowledge. So I mean, I think that most of us at some point in our career, we started working in a company and we started in a project that was already started, and we had to face that challenge of realizing where the information is and what is important and who is the people I need to reach out and the roles of that people, and so on. So for that, we have a Microsoft Viva solution that is really good, and it's helping us not only to identify resources in terms of people, but also resources in terms of um, documentation, previous experiences, I don't know, maybe the estimation of the project, the tasks, and so on. So people or new joiners are able to maintain or to understand what is expected from them with the right information. And also, you don't have any knowledge, I don't know how you say this in English, but your knowledge is staying in the company and it's not flying away every time someone goes out. So that is really good, and it's a scenario that I think it's needed mainly in our environment, the project environment, where we need to be able to keep track of the information. All right, so adding value to companies. What I really like to think about is that as consultants, we are much more capable of just implementing. We are, well, I mean, maybe in a couple of years, the machine can do our work and it's able to do the implementation, but the value that we can deliver as human beings, it's much more than just um, being there and taking notes and implementing what the customer wants. Of course, that's part of the deal, but I think that our role has shifted from consultants to more advisors. And I think that all of us working closely with customers understand the risks and the future needs that the customer is gonna have. So we need to make sure that for our customers we are much more than just resources, and then we can provide some advice that is valuable and they can rely on our advice for the future, and that's good. So I always try to think when I start a project, it doesn't matter if it's Viva or HR or whatever, I even if it's for my side hustle, I mean, it doesn't matter. I always try to think what is going to happen in the future and how this company is going to be impacted by the future for the solution that they are using. So for example, if I'm implementing HR and I know that in a couple of years there's a change coming, I'm going to be 100% honest about it, and the customer will appreciate that. In the sense, I'm adding value where I'm raising my hand and saying, hey, I really know that you want to implement this. I really know you want to go through this, but just keep in mind that in a couple of years, this can change, or this developing that you're doing on your side, it can be included in the solution, or things like that. But not only with upcoming releases, but also with the connections that we can make with other solutions. So for example, I have a lot of customers from HR that they said, okay, so we know that HR has a module for managing like all the logistics around the courses and the learning processes, but we want a learning management system. What's the good way to go? How you can advise us? What solution can you give us? And I always said that there are plenty of solutions out there in the market, but I think that the best way to go is with Microsoft Viva, because Viva is part of the stack. It's a Microsoft stack. So that kind of conversations, sometimes they're difficult to have because the customer wants the customer sometimes doesn't know what it wants, but when it does, it's really straightforward, and the capacity of going above and beyond, and that's mainly why this session was about. But that capacity of going above and beyond, it's helping us to build some trust relationship with our customers. So my tip is provide advice, and if you have questions or you're not sure where to go, make a little committee in your company or in your community, and I'm sure someone is going to provide you good insight. Sometimes we underestimate the power of the community or the power of the teamwork, but believe me that when we work in much more than when I work with a lot of people besides myself, I can see and I can feel differences, and I can see some other perspectives, and that is really good because it makes you think things about in a different perspective. So that is delivering value. And now we go to the main point of this session, that is thinking above and beyond. I think I already say it, but I'm going to repeat myself a bit, but I hope this is for good. So as you can read in my slides, the fun part is to add complexity to the implementations and think above and beyond. So I'm going to part this sentence in a couple of statements, and I'm going to be clear about them. So the fun part, that is really good. We always like to have fun in our projects. We don't have as much fun as we should, but that's because we're overstressed and we need to deliver fast and furious, and in a couple of months, a lot of solutions. But let's keep in mind that part of being consultant is to enjoy our technology. I'm really passionate about what I do, and I can speak about it for ages, and I feel that when I'm working with a customer, I'm having fun. Besides, once I get to the office and I start to write the minutes down or start thinking about how I'm going to organize the implementation, I start to worry a bit. But at least with the customer, I had fun. But in this case, what my statement says is that the fun part is to add complexity. So when I say add complexity, is that we add this perspective where we can think much more than just Viva. So for us, it could be, for example, let's do something Viva, HR, Teams, and Power Platform. Let's do something like that. And of course, mainly this can start as part of community activities, and then you can go through that and suggest it to a customer. But add complexity, think of scenarios that are difficult. But they are difficult not only because of technical issues or technical challenges, but also because they are resolving complex processes from your customer. They are providing solutions to a customer need in a complex way. And when I say complex, it's not difficult. It's just complex because technically it requires integrations. So that's the thing of going above and beyond. So we need to, I think that it's fun to think out of the box and to go above and beyond with information that we provide and with the kind of consultancy we deliver. So thank you very much. This has been an amazing time for me. I hope you enjoy it. I'm a bit messy sometimes for speaking, and I can make up things or make up words, But if you have any doubt or any question, just let me know and I will answer it right away. I want to say thank you to all the organizers and to all the speakers. It's been an amazing day. I'm really sorry I cannot be there live. Something happened and I am not going to be able to be at home at that time. So I'm really sorry. But I hope and expect you enjoy this day, because it has been made up with lots of efforts and strength from the organizers and the sponsors as well. Make sure you're aware of the prizes that you can win. And I'm gonna leave you over here some of the ways you can reach out. So you have, the first one is my Twitter, the second one is my LinkedIn, and the last one is my blog. You can find me over there, reach out on any of them. I mainly answer right away on LinkedIn. Twitter, I'm not using it as much. And in my blog, it's more resources. But you can book a meeting from there if you want to meet up and if you want to speak about something. So with all this said, I wanted to say thank you again. Thank you for listening to me for a couple of minutes, so enthusiastic and so abstract about our work and how we can go above and beyond. And thank you very much and have an amazing day.